And cut. Delete that.
All right, we're in.
All right. 23.3.
Last one.
The last open workout of the year.
Yes.
I know all the coaches out there are really, really excited.
I am.
This is the last open workout.
Very excited.
But don't get too excited because we have like 10 days until individual quarterfinals.
And then 10 days until
And then 10 days.
quarterfinals.
And age groups like right in there.
2 days after.
2 days after that. So
semifinals.
like they say, it's the start of the season,
Yeah.
but it's the end of the open, but it really doesn't
we're
really change
just
anything.
scratching
We're
the
just
surface.
scratching the surface. March is going to be a good month. But
So
so what do you think about the workout?
can't say that I expected snatches to come in that capacity.
I didn't think we'd see a barbell, frankly, and I also did not think we would see that kind of loading.
No, I didn't see we're going to have another kind of strength test.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That being said, I did think we're going to have some sort of wall walk. I thought that it developed like handstand walks. I did say double unders.
With handstand push-ups, yeah.
Right.
I think most people, I know most of us here at Ascend, we were expecting wall walks or handstand push-ups, maybe some handstand walk, and then double unders
or
to probably make an
and then
appearance.
dumbbell snatches or double presses or
Yeah.
some sort of dumbbell movement. Interesting, an open without dumbbells.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had, they brought those in 2017. They've been relatively consistent. So I'm not terribly surprised they kind
I
of
will
pulled them
tell
out.
you, quarterfinals are going to be full of them.
I mean, yeah, we have a light or regular dumbbell, a heavy dumbbell on the equipment list. We've also got kettlebells. So I think quarterfinals will probably have a good dash of those odd objects. And yeah, maybe we get a no barbell quarterfinal.
Yeah,
I mean, they've done that at regionals. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I do like this workout as a test.
I like it too. It's making me nervous in my stomach, and that's a good thing.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I think it does a good job of testing strength under fatigue, testing some gymnastics capacity, a little bit of skills, but you still have to be fit.
And like smart. Like you can't just go in head first and see what happens either.
No. Yeah, there's very few athletes who need to take that approach, and we'll kind of dive into that in a second.
Right.
Before we jump into this, though, a reminder for everybody out there: we'll have a full warm up in the show notes, basically down below. So we'll make sure that that's in there for you guys. So if you need a warm up for this workout, this is definitely a workout that you want to get very warm for, very loose, be ready to go, have gotten your heart rate up, all those things.
Lifted heavy, everything.
Yeah, before you jump into it, so that you don't kind of get punched in the face mid-workout and then everything goes squirrely.
Fair enough.
So, okay. A lot of different people are in a lot of different positions at this point, right? We have people trying to get, into the top 10%. We have people who are clearly in the top 10% and just trying not to screw it up.
Yeah.
And then we obviously have those athletes who are looking at semis and games and stuff like that. And then we also have a whole cohort of athletes who are just trying to finish the open strong.
Right.
So let's kind of take it there first. Those athletes who are trying to just finish the open strong and, give their best effort, how should they approach this?
I will say, let's first talk about, we're setting expectations, right? You got to set expectations for yourself. I would say people who are going to finish this workout are going to be games athletes.
Yeah, games are
high-level semifinals.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? That being said, for quarterfinal level athletes, we're probably going to have some people spill into the fourth round, but for the majority of it, it's going to be within that third round.
Yeah, I think there will be a good handful of quarterfinal athletes who get to that last bar,
right?
But maybe struggle with it, or get a couple reps,
or not have time to finish,
it, or they maybe only have time to get one. I think if you get 225 or get a rep at 225, that'll be a pretty high percentile score in this workout.
Right, and again, that's really early on to judge based on everybody's score, but I even looked up the guy from the first heat, and he was sitting pretty well into the quarterfinal qualification spot, and he didn't get to the 185.
No, I think he was. I believe he was on the double unders.
Yeah. So,
but the handstand push-ups were looking tough.
Yes,
for him.
So it also depends on how strong you are. It depends on how you do your handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are used to narrow grip. A lot of people are used to wider grip. Taller athletes are usually by default going to wider grip.
Trying to get as wide as we can.
Right. So it is unfortunately a standard.
Yeah, so new standard. Hopefully, if you haven't looked at it, please go look at this. We have 10 inches away from the wall, 30-inch line of tape, no deeper than 2 inches.
Right.
And one of your appendages, basically, or more than that, has to
Tentacles.
one of those has to be touching that tape line. And I am a taller athlete. I have a pretty good wingspan. I'm 6'2", and I kicked up and did a couple, and it's narrow and it's close to the wall. So if you're a taller athlete, or just an athlete with maybe longer arms than typical, I really encourage you to get upside down, practice some reps, kind of figure out what the sweet spot might be. And something we had discussed is whatever you thought you were going to do for handstand push-up sets, go ahead and add another set to that as a good, safe start with the added shoulder fatigue and just that narrower, hand position and longer range of motion.
Right. And then I think the third tier of athletes where I just want to finish the open strong, at this point, it's more of a 6-minute sprint.
Yeah, you got to get those tie break times, and you got to just try to finish that first 6 minutes.
Exactly.
Or get as deep as you can.
So you're playing a tie break game here.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And again, nothing to take away from that. That's still going to be just a different approach. That's all.
Right. It just, you're playing off of where you're at as an athlete. Like, if you know that clearing those 20 handstand push-ups is just not realistic for you, then you want to get through 135 with as much gusto as you can.
Sure.
And have as much time as you can to potentially work on those 20.
Every rep will count.
Massively. There will be huge bottlenecks at all those handstand push-up reps.
And I think we all saw that in the past workout, maybe even two, the last week, basically, the separation was very narrow. I think in this workout, we're going to see a lot more separation.
Oh, absolutely.
Per rep, basically. You'll see a lot more.
Especially with the addition of a tie break in this workout, you won't have thousands of people stacked at every rep.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So wall walks.
Start with that.
Smooth and steady.
5 wall walks. Don't panic. Don't sprint. Just don't get a no rep.
Yeah.
As simple as that. You just want to have a solid performance. You don't want to fatigue out and then get to the first set of snatches and you're already out of shoulders and out of breath.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to just take your time there and chill.
No reps. Wall walks to me are one of those movements where if I'm smooth and efficient, I'm pretty quick still.
Right.
But if I try to go super fast and I'm spastic, it's way harder on me.
It's a completely
So I think for, even the athletes who are trying to get through this first 6 minutes and have to really sprint that part, I think being smooth and composed on your wall walks and then trying to move faster on the double unders and the barbells the play.
Right.
And then if you're going to get deep in this workout, the wall walks are not the workout.
They're not. They're not. Yeah.
You just need to be smooth and, like you said, don't get into
Right. By that, just again, the standard is pretty simple. We have to touch the front line until both feet are on the wall.
Yep.
And then from there, you can move your hands all the way up to the other tape or the 10-inch forward tape. Any part of both hands, as long as both hands do it, just touch the tape, get back all the way to the front line, then you can drop your feet down. And don't forget to finish with your chest on the ground. A lot of people forget, especially in the last rep, they drop to a plank position or they put their knees down and they just jump up. Do not get a no rep there. As a judge, I will not let it go, but it will be costly on your score.
Yeah, you gotta. It's important to finish that last rep, and then another thing I think, going in line with being smooth on those is get into a good pike position a little bit. Reach up with your arms before you get your feet on the wall. Get your butt in the air, right? And to try to get yourself as high on the wall with that first step as possible. Wall walks have been around for a while. If you've been doing our programming or working with one of our coaches, we've done plenty of them. We've talked about efficiency and things like that. So I think the wall walks, they're not a wash movement for the higher level athletes, but it's not where you win this workout.
It's not very impactful in their score.
Correct.
But it is impactful for people who are trying to finish the open strong.
Correct. Absolutely. Double unders.
50 is that sweet spot number for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are not strong at double unders, break those intentionally.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at this heart rate or this workout and the wall walks and the double unders are going to get your heart rate going. Maybe even if your heart rate's going to get up on the barbell,
right?
Which something like myself, that would be the case.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and break those double unders and it's okay. Now, it's not a long break.
No, just
25 or 30.
Yep.
And then we're right back to work.
Right.
But it's perfectly okay. A friend of mine that I know actually tested this workout and they finished. And they finished the workout and they are very strong. But they also broke the double unders intentionally because they knew their fitness isn't where it would need to be to push that.
Right.
So it's a perfectly okay strategy to do so.
Yeah. That being said, if you are expecting to do 50 and you trip, it's not a big deal.
Chill out. Yeah.
Same approach. Breathe. Go again.
Yeah. I'm personally as an athlete, I'm pretty good at double unders. Anytime I trip in a workout with double unders, I just immediately take that as a quick breath. I'm like, okay, I tripped.
I got a break.
Whatever. I'm just going to take a breath.
Right.
Carry on with my life.
Yep.
So it's really not something that, the wall, or not the wall walks, but the double unders, when people get flustered, that's when things get weird.
You want to minimize the increase in your heart rate as much as you can throughout the whole workout.
Right.
And getting flustered on double unders is just psychologically going to do that for you.
Yeah.
It's going to make it spike. So relax. It's okay. Just keep moving.
Well, and the other thing for those high-level athletes who are going to get deep in this workout, or those semifinals games level athletes who are going to finish, the double unders are with 50 basically active rest.
Right.
So you should be very relaxed, very composed, focus on your breathing, and just kind of like keep a mental count and like have your judge count for you out loud. Maybe every 10. But that should really be the one place in this workout where you can kind of mentally like turn off for a second and just I'm resting.
Right.
So the barbell. So we have ascending weights. Right.
I'm going to talk about RX version. It's 95, 135, 185, 225. For the ladies, that would be 65, 95, 125, 155.
Correct. So obviously that first barbell is lighter. I think if you're an athlete who's if you're quarterfinals level, top 10%, you're looking to get deeper in this workout, into that third round, maybe the fourth round, don't fall in the trap of doing all 15 touch and go. At 95-65.
Yeah.
We watched Mal. We watched Danielle. I think Mal did do most of hers unbroken, if not all of them.
I believe so.
And then I don't remember if Danielle did all of hers unbroken or if she broke. But when you look at their second round, Danielle did all singles.
Right.
Mal did sets of singles, and she was only like 10 seconds behind Mal getting back to the wall to go into their third round. So you can kind of take that information and apply it to the first round. Mm-hmm. It's not necessary to go for a huge set on that 95-65 bar.
No.
And it's pretty likely going to cost your heart rate and shoulders on the next couple bars.
And again, a reminder for most athletes who are not doing this workout with a guarantee that they're going to finish, you want to be ready in the third round. You want to be ready later on.
Right.
So finishing the 95 as sprinting or as big of a set as you can doesn't really do you a lot of good if you're going to struggle on 135 or on 185 or
correct,
like a correspondingly weight for the ladies.
Yeah.
You want to be putting your big boy pants or big girl pants on for the second and third barbell.
Correct. And even those athletes who are looking to just finish the open strong, I really think still breaking in 95 is going to be advantageous for them. I would rather see those athletes make smart breaks, whether it's really quick triples, fours, something like that, and then hustle their transition back to the wall or their transition from the double unders to that first barbell and keep that a little bit of intensity going, than them do, a huge set for them on the barbell and then they're just sucking wind going back to the wall walks and going to lose a bunch of time there.
Yeah. And then you want to kind of keep factor for like, will that make me slower on this 135 snatches? Right. Not just singles, but will it make it slower?
Right. Way slower.
That's, yeah.
So 135, I think, is an important piece of this workout, that 135-95
second barbell, yeah.
Especially so for those open athletes who are just looking to maximize their finish, we gotta do what we gotta do. Right? Like we gotta put our, like you said, big girl and big boy britches on, and we gotta hit those with as much intensity as we can. Now, if it's a heavy weight for you and you gotta rest, that's okay, but you want to rest a minimal amount of time possible.
I want to kind of refer that back to 23.1 power cleans where we told you like keep your feet where they are, don't walk back, don't have time for chalking in the middle.
Nope.
It is one drop, shake it off, pick it up.
It's only 12 reps, which it's a good bit, but it's not that many.
Right.
I think for those quarterfinal athletes who are looking to get into that round of the third round, get through those handstand push-ups, hopefully get some reps at that 185 bar, or the higher level quarterfinal athletes who are going to get further.
Right.
135 to me is the bar where we have to do our job.
Right.
Like those athletes are going to need time at 185 on the handstand push-ups, things like that, and you can waste time on that 135 bar that you really didn't need to waste.
Exactly.
So that 135 95 pound bar, whether you're an open level athlete or a quarterfinal level athlete, you really got to be consistent. And then for the semifinal athletes and higher, that 135 95 pound bar really isn't going to change much. I think the best strategy for those athletes as well is very quick singles, but obviously those singles are very quick. Like
it's a relatively lightweight for that caliber of athlete.
Absolutely. It's not something that they should be afraid of. They're going to be able to get their hands on it, and hit a rep every 5 seconds, 4 seconds, something like that.
Right. Think about like maybe a 90% or 85% effort is about.
Yeah, and it's less than half. Right. So it's a very manageable amount of work.
Right.
Okay, so we clear that. The handstand push-ups, we kind of already talked about.
Right.
I really think talking with your coach, talking with your training partners, play with that new standard a little bit. Don't do too much,
Right.
but just
Enough
understand
practice,
a little bit, at least how your hands are going to feel, how you're going to kick up, things like that. I am typically an athlete who I just kick right up.
Mhm.
But with that new hand placement standard, I might have to put my hands down
Right.
and then kick up, which is something I'm not used to doing.
Which is why you have to just
So
try
I'm
it
going to
out.
have to play with it a little
Right.
bit tomorrow,
And like
right?
we've seen both in Heat 1 and Heat 2, both of the athletes, Daniel Brandon and Matt, the guy
Mhm.
from the first heat, their hands were moving during the handstand push-up.
Right.
And they were escaping the line.
Right.
So make sure you have a little bit of space there that even if your hands move, you're still on the line.
Yeah, especially if you're down here in Texas where it's
Right.
for
you're,
sure going to be
you're
sweaty.
easily sweaty, right?
Yeah.
So like you don't want to get no rep at the end of the rep.
Right.
Because again, that will happen, especially if the weather allows it.
Correct.
If you maybe you want to chalk your hands before though, like maybe just make sure
Yeah.
that you have every factor that helps you to get into those handstand push-ups without a lot of escaping the line. You
Yeah.
do not want to get no reps on one of those. Again, it might not be as timely costly as the Wallwalks, but at this point of the workout, one rep will be a good chunk of effort.
Yeah. So strategy-wise for these strict handstand push-ups, I just had this thought come to mind that I was thinking about a little bit. I really think even athletes, let's say you're a bigger athlete, or maybe even a more normal sized athlete, and you're normal. Sorry, I'm tall, so I say that.
Okay.
And your max set of strict is like 20,
Right.
maybe 25, and
Right.
you're decently proficient at strict under fatigue.
Mhm.
I would much rather see an athlete hit really quick fours, and like rep speed is high. We kick down,
Strong push. Yeah.
take a breath, we kick back up, hit another quick four. I would much rather see an athlete do that than do 5 or 6 quick and then grind through 4 to get to 10.
Because every grind will affect your snatches after.
Exactly. It's
Like-
just not worth it.
If you're grinding there, you have a heavy barbell after that.
Yeah, so that's a good kind of segue. I think one really important thing for all of the mid-level quarterfinals athletes, 95 percentile to honestly 97 percentile,
Mhm.
if you're not very strong at the snatch, you need to be ready for that 50-pound jump.
Right.
It's going to feel a little heavier than you're used to. Now, once you get a couple reps in, assuming you have the time to do that and you're working through that 185 bar,
Mhm.
you'll settle in. But that 50-pound jump for athletes who don't have a very high power snatch 1RM or snatch 1RM, it's going to feel like you just took a big jump.
Absolutely. And I think this is where I would say if that percentage or that weight is heavy for you, including myself, this is close to my 1 rep max,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to squat snatch if that's
Absolutely.
something that will help you.
Absolutely.
If you can power and if that's a confident weight, great. If you want to start with a squat snatch and then power, there's no wrong answer here as long as you get it overhead.
Right, just got to keep moving.
Right? Just keep moving. So for me, I believe because again, I'm a smaller athlete. I'm not a very good at strength athlete. So I will, if I get to that bar, I will attempt squat snatches right away.
Right.
And that's where you need to warm up both
Yes.
in the warm up.
Yes.
Be very confident in those lifts. I will say for most quarterfinal athletes, you should at least hit 165 to 185 pounds before you start.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with hitting a 185
For 1 or 2 reps.
or a 125 for a couple reps.
Right.
But yeah, like I'm not a great snatcher. I am relative to my strength good at power snatching,
Mhm.
but I definitely want to give that weight a tug
Right.
before I start. So
Right.
just so I know kind of how I feel that day.
Right.
Right? Is the bar flying off the ground? Well, sweet.
Yeah.
Does the pole feel kind of heavy off the floor? All right, then I know I really am going to have to like get my technique right and things like that to make those as efficient as possible.
Right.
That 9 is going to be a big separator.
Yes.
I think it's going to be one of those bottleneck points where every rep can really matter.
Absolutely.
I think that's also the weight where we have to remind people that misses are really costly.
100%.
So whether that's a very heavy weight for you and you're just trying to get 1 or 2, or whether that's a weight that's manageable for you and you're trying to move through it as deep as you can, no miss reps.
Get ready.
Get ready. Focus
Fine.
on what you're doing.
Good technique.
Yep.
Because if you don't want to get angry at yourself because you missed it because you were too lazy to set up properly.
Correct.
Right? Or too tired to set up properly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what to do. You've practiced this so many times. Get ready before you lift.
Yep.
Strong lift, strong base will lead to a good lift.
And so for those athletes that are looking, to finish this workout, those higher level semi-athletes, games level athletes, this barbell again is not really that heavy for them, but it is the weight where this is the first weight on the barbell where you need to start paying attention to how you're snatching.
Right.
And it will set you up for success at 155 to 25.
I will say, yeah, that will be kind of your time determinator for that level of athletes.
Yes.
Like, yes, it's not going to be a 1 rep or a heavy barbell for you, but you kind of need to move.
Yeah, correct. Especially if you're an athlete that's not strong at the snatch.
Right.
Even if you breeze through the handstand push-ups, if you know 225, 155 is just a weight you struggle to hit under a lot of fatigue, then we need to kind of work through 185, 125 at a good pace so that you have as much time as possible to clear those reps or get as deep as you can.
Absolutely.
What do you think the best time's going to be? So what did Mal do it in? Like
750?
750? Yeah. What do you think the best time's going to be on this?
Girls or guys? I'd say for the girls, it would be probably 740, 735.
I mean, Mal's really fit, right?
Yeah,
so like that's a pretty good.
And she's also a small
She's very
athlete,
strong,
and
right.
she will move that weight ridiculously fast.
Right, because we're going to inevitably see some conversation of like the very strong athletes who might struggle with those strict,
Right.
and then the lighter athletes,
and heart rate.
Right, and then the lighter athletes might struggle with that barbell a little bit more.
And I think Mal was just not struggling anywhere.
No, her snatches and everything looked great.
She didn't get any no reps, I think, at least that I've seen. But I would say, yeah, the time to be the top time would be really close to that.
You think the guy's time? I think the guy's best time will be like 8 minutes.
Honestly, yeah, I think the guy's time would be slower just because of strict handstand push-ups.
Well, that and traditionally when we look at these kind of barbell ladder earn your work workouts, the ladies are faster.
Yes.
Just typically across the board, especially with the weights that HQ gave for this workout.
I agree.
So I think the best guy time will be somewhere 8 minutes, maybe just north.
Right, like
maybe somebody goes sub.
Or 750 to 805, and then the ladies 735 to 57.
Yeah, I guess I could see somebody like what's his name, Bronkovic or whatnot from Europe. He's bonkers strong, and he's not very big. So like I could see somebody like that going maybe just sub 8.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a fun one.
Again, I'm excited. I'm nervous. This is probably the only workout where I have butterflies.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't have butterflies for it.
I just had to go to work.
Right.
This one, I was like.
I think one thing that we should touch on really quickly before we shut it down is redos.
Right.
This is a very redoable workout.
True. It's not a very long time domain.
It's not a lot of volume, really. Especially most people won't get all that volume.
Right.
In my opinion, as a coach, if you're sitting securely in the quarterfinals qualifying spot, and you execute well on this workout, and you're within what the top 10% starts to shake out to be, it's a waste of time.
Right. Just get to quarterfinals.
You just got to check your ego. Individual quarterfinals is very rapidly approaching.
Right.
We have a couple, more training days, and then it's taper time. So I think those athletes really should not redo.
Right.
If you're battling to be on that top 10%,
redo.
We gotta give it another go. But that being said, make sure you talk with a coach. Make sure you talk with a training partner. Make sure you talk with your local affiliate coach.
Make sure you know what you're doing in the second attempt.
Yes, yes. Have your judge or your coach on your first attempt write your split times down, write your set times down on your handstand push-ups or your wall walks or whatever that is, so that you can sit back and come up with at least some sort of a decent strategy for a redo. Because, I mean, that your whole season could depend on this.
Don't go in with an emotional, just, okay, I'll do better.
I'm going to try harder.
Right.
Right. That might have worked for, like, last week.
Maybe.
But not so much this week.
Right.
Right. It's too much technical elements, things like that.
Right.
So, cool.
I would definitely say have a plan, have somebody track your first attempt, even if it's not your judge, probably not because of the whole counting double unders thing. But, yeah, have somebody even video yourself if you need to.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that you are knowing what you're doing wrong and what you can do better.
Yeah, 100%. Closing thoughts? Questions for the
happy 23.0.
Happy end of the Open.
Yeah.
Get after it. Enjoy it. Good luck out there, and we'll see you all on the leaderboard.
And if you guys post any videos, tag us in it. Again, hashtag Team Ascend on the quarterfinal on the CrossFit Games leaderboard.
Yep.
And subscribe and like to our channel. A lot more content video to come.
Coming.
And good luck, everybody.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.